Hello, and welcome to this presentation for the St. Francis-St. Michael's Interchange Improvement Study, located in Santa Fe, New Mexico. My name is Carlos Padilla. I am the Consultant Project Manager for Radian Engineering, who has been hired by the New Mexico Department of Transportation to conduct the study. This presentation is part of the public involvement program being completed for the project. During this presentation, we will discuss the following topics. We will begin with an overview of the NMDOT study team and briefly describe the study process that will be followed. I will discuss two previously completed studies that relate to the St. Francis-St. Michael's interchange and describe how the current study will build upon those earlier efforts. We will provide an overview of the study area under consideration and discuss a number of existing conditions and key project issues to be evaluated under the current study. Next, we will review the findings of the Phase A technical study, which included a screening of several initial alternatives for the project and recommended the alternatives to be advanced for further evaluation under the current study. Our team's environmental lead will discuss the environmental investigations and analysis that will be completed as part of the study, and he will provide information as to how you, as members of the public, can provide your input on the project and the alternatives under consideration. We will conclude the presentation with the next steps for the project development process and the time frame for beginning project construction. Our study team is being led by the New Mexico Department of Transportation. Mr. Javier Martinez, Assistant District Engineer, will be representing the District 5 office. Mr. Esteban Gonzalez is the Project Development Engineer from the North Region Design Office, and Ms. Jennifer Mullins is representing the department's Environmental Bureau. Radian Engineering will lead the consultant team on this project. My name is Carlos Padilla. I am the Consultant Project Manager. Our environmental sub-consultant for the project is Ecosphere Environmental Services. They are being led by Mr. John Toshek. Also joining us on the consultant team is Ms. Claudia Meyer-Horn with Design Office. Claudia's main focus on the project will be addressing bicycle and pedestrian needs. Staff members from the Santa Fe Metropolitan Planning Organization and the City of Santa Fe Public Works Department are also members of the study team. The study process will follow the NMDOT location study procedures, which utilizes a phased approach to project development. We are currently in the study phase of the project. Tonight's presentation will primarily focus on analysis completed as part of the initial evaluation of alternatives and describe how that earlier work will be incorporated into the current Phase B study. Transportation planning efforts for the St. Francis Drive corridor began more than 10 years ago with a 6-mile corridor study that began at Rabbit Road, south of Interstate 25, and ended at the New Mexico 599 interchange. The 2010 study identified improvements to the St. Francis-St. Michael's interchange as the #1 priority project for the corridor. The NMDOT completed a Phase A technical study for the interchange in 2018. The technical study included an analysis of needed improvements, evaluated a range of potential improvement alternatives, and recommended which of the initial alternatives would be advanced for further study. The Phase B study will provide additional evaluation and analysis of the remaining alternatives and provide opportunities for public participation in the study process prior to selecting a preferred alternative for the project. The project study area is shown in the figure to the right. Along St. Francis Drive, it begins at the intersection with Seringa Road on the south and ends at the West San Mateo Road intersection on the north. Along St. Michael's Drive, it begins at the South Pacheco Street intersection on the west and ends at the intersection with East Galisteo Street on the east. The project study area includes 5 signalized intersections and 1 non-signalized intersection. St. Francis Drive, also known as US 84, is an important regional facility. It provides access from Interstate 25 on the south to a number of communities north of Santa Fe located within the north-central part of the state. Both St. Francis Drive and St. Michael's Drive are important arterial roadways within the Santa Fe local transportation network. Roadway features within the study area are as follows. Along St. Francis Drive, there are 3 11-foot lanes in each direction with no outside shoulders and a center median area. Along St. Michael's Drive, there currently exist 6 lanes west of Pacheco Street and 4 lanes east of Galisteo Street. Within the core of the interchange, auxiliary lanes are added and dropped between ramps and intersections. The interchange is currently configured as a partial diamond on the west and as a partial cloverleaf configuration on the east. Key issues include a lack of merge lanes at the 3 on-ramp locations to St. Francis Drive and tight weave conditions approaching the East Galisteo Street intersection and the West San Mateo Street intersection. The existing interchange bridge carries St. Francis Drive over St. Michael's Drive. The bridge is 106 foot long by 92 foot wide with a 14-foot center median. The structure is comprised of a reinforced concrete box girder superstructure with full-height reinforced concrete abutments. There are a number of key issues to be considered under the current study. The existing bridge is now approaching 50 years in age. The existing bridge deck is too narrow to accommodate a merge lane for the northbound on-ramp. A recent load rating analysis found the structure to be 43% under capacity. The bridge is classified as structurally deficient and functionally obsolete, and the structure type is not considered a good candidate for rehabilitation. Multimodal facilities. There are currently limited pedestrian and bicycle facilities within the study area. Pedestrian signals and crosswalks are found at some, but not all of the intersections. There is existing sidewalk along St. Francis Drive north of the project area and along St. Michael's Drive west of South Pacheco Street and east of Galisteo Street. There's a multi-use trail that runs along the east side of St. Francis Drive from Syringa Road to Galisteo Street and connects south to the rail trail. On-street bicycle lanes can be found on St. Michael's Drive east of Galisteo Street and at the cross streets of Syringa Road and West San Mateo Road. There are 4 transit operators currently operating within the study area. They include Santa Fe Trails bus service, the NMDOT shuttle service, the North Central Region Transit District bus service, and the Rail Runner commuter train, which utilizes the Zia station south of the project area. Key issues to be considered under the study include lack of pedestrian access along St. Francis and connectivity to the surrounding neighborhoods, missing sidewalks and unmarked pedestrian crossings along St. Michael's Drive, long crossing distances and lack of pedestrian refuge at intersections, and missing or inadequate bicycle facilities on St. Michael's Drive and at intersection cross streets. Traffic operations. Both St. Francis Drive and St. Michael's Drive are heavily traveled roadways. Currently, almost 45,000 vehicles per day travel along St. Francis Drive, and just over 26,000 vehicles per day travel along St. Michael's Drive. Peak hour volumes within the 5 major intersections located within the study area are shown in the table. Existing traffic counts show that peak hour volumes found during the PM peak are slightly higher than those found during the AM peak hour. Traffic operations analysis shows that intersections operate at an acceptable level of service overall during the AM peak hour, but turn lanes at the Syringa Road and West San Mateo Road intersections lack sufficient vehicle storage. During the PM peak hour, level of service is also acceptable, however, slightly higher delays occur versus the AM peak hour. The Syringa Road intersection operates at a level of service D during the PM peak, and efficient turn lane storage is found at all intersections. Safety. The 3-year safety analysis was completed for the project. 222 total crashes were found to have occurred within the study area over the 3-year period. 82 of the crashes resulted in injury, and there were 3 pedestrian accidents, 1 resulting in a fatality. The study also identified several hotspot locations where clusters of accidents were found to have occurred within the study area. The hotspot locations were as follows: 2 of the on-ramp merge locations from St. Michael's Drive onto St. Francis Drive, the southbound ramp intersection on St. Michael's Drive, the eastbound approach to Galisteo Street intersection along St. Michael's Drive, and all 4 of the outlying signalized intersections. The number and type of crashes found to have occurred at St. Francis Drive at the on-ramps were found to be directly attributable to the lack of available merge area. We will now review the initial alternatives that were evaluated under the Phase 8 technical study. 9 initial alternatives were identified. The alternatives can be grouped into 3 basic categories: 2 base alternatives, 2 at-grade intersection alternatives, and 5 interchange alternatives. 2 base alternatives were considered under the technical study. The no-build alternative would include no improvements to the existing interchange and is maintained as a basis for comparison of the other study alternatives. Prior to 2005, St. Francis Drive existed as a 4-lane roadway within the study area. It was then restriped to add an additional lane in either direction, which eliminated the outside shoulder areas and the merge areas at the 3 on-ramp locations. Under the restriped existing St. Francis Drive alternative, the roadway would be returned to a 4-lane section, which would reestablish the merge areas at the on-ramps. There were also 2 at-grade intersection alternatives evaluated under the study. Under the signalized intersection alternative, the existing bridge over St. Michael's Drive and all ramps within the interchange area would be removed and replaced with a single signalized at-grade intersection of St. Francis Drive and St. Michael's Drive. Under this alternative, improvements would also be made to the 4 outlying intersections. Under the modern roundabout alternative, the same improvements would be made, but rather than constructing an at-grade signalized intersection, a modern roundabout would be constructed. There were 5 interchange alternatives evaluated under the study. Under the diamond interchange alternative, the existing alignment along St. Francis Drive would be maintained and a new bridge built over St. Michael's Drive. The ramps on the west side of the interchange would be improved at their current location, while the ramps on the east side of the interchange would be removed and replaced with new ramps to form the diamond configuration. New auxiliary lanes would be built along southbound and northbound St. Francis Drive to accommodate the new on-ramps. All 4 of the outlying intersections would be improved under each of the interchange alternatives. Under the ramp reconfiguration alternative, the existing on-ramps on the east side of the interchange would be removed and replaced with a single on-ramp from St. Michael's Drive. The existing off-ramp and ramps on the west side of the interchange would be improved at or near their current locations. New auxiliary lanes would be constructed along southbound and northbound St. Francis Drive to accommodate the new on-ramps. This alternative would require a new and widened bridge over St. Michael's Drive. Under the single-point urban interchange alternative, the entire interchange would be removed and reconstructed into a new configuration. The existing alignment of St. Francis Drive would be maintained and a new bridge over St. Michael's Drive would be constructed. The on-ramps would be reconfigured to form a single at-grade intersection on St. Michael's Drive underneath the new bridge. Auxiliary lanes would be built along southbound and northbound St. Francis Drive to accommodate the new on-ramp locations. Under the diverging diamond interchange alternative, similar improvements would be made along St. Francis Drive with a new bridge built over St. Michael's Drive. Auxiliary lanes would also be constructed in the southbound and northbound directions to accommodate the new ramp configuration. Along St. Michael's Drive, significant improvements would be made, with intersections being built to accommodate the new divergent diamond configuration, which eliminates left-hand turn movements at the intersections. The final interchange alternative is the split bridge left-on access alternative. Under this alternative, a portion of St. Francis Drive and the existing bridge over St. Michael's Drive would be removed and replaced with new northbound and southbound alignments along St. Francis Drive, including 2 new twin bridges to be built over St. Michael's Drive. Under this alternative, the existing on-ramps on the west side and east side of the interchange would be removed. Drivers wishing to access St. Francis Drive would do so from a new intersection which would be built between the 2 new bridges and new on-ramps being built along the old roadway alignment. This would require vehicles entering onto St. Francis Drive to merge into the inside lanes from the left-hand side. The initial screening analysis determined which of the alternatives would best meet the needs of the project. As a result, the following alternatives have been recommended for further evaluation under the Phase B study. Although the no-build alternative would not meet the needs of the project, it remains under consideration as a basis for comparison of the build alternatives. The signalized intersection alternative would address the project needs and provides an at-grade alternative for comparison against the interchange alternatives. It would, however, require a large multi-lane intersection and is anticipated to have operational and safety disadvantages. The diamond interchange and ramp reconfiguration alternatives Both address the project needs and would have a greater range of potential benefits. They both, however, would have higher traffic impacts during construction and a higher construction cost. The split bridge left-on access alternative also addresses the project needs and would have a greater range of potential benefits. Because of its unique configuration, it would have less traffic impacts during the construction phase, but would require an unconventional left-on access and also would have a high project cost.
Hello, my name is John Toshik with Ecosphere Environmental Services. Our role is to prepare the environmental investigations which will take place in the upcoming study phases. Because the project involves federal funding, we will comply with the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA. NEPA requires that environmental and community factors be considered in the project decision-making process. A wide range of environmental and community topics will be considered, as shown on the slide, but only those relevant to the project will be studied in detail. Some of the issues that we expect will be key for the St. Francis-St. Michael's interchange include traffic noise, visual effects, and possible opportunities for aesthetic enhancements and improved multimodal connectivity. An important part of the NEPA process is public involvement, which is what we are beginning with this presentation. This slide shows how you can participate in the study and provide input. We will have a live virtual meeting using Zoom in April 2021, where you can ask questions or make comments, and study team members will be available to respond with answers or more information. A project website has been created as shown here, which contains the study report that Carlos has described, maps and graphics, a comment form, and other project information. The website will be updated regularly to keep the community informed. In addition, you can visit the NMDOT's project website for more information. In addition to the live virtual meeting and website comment form, you can submit questions and comments to me via email or mail at the addresses shown here. Thank you for your interest, and we look forward to your involvement in the study.
These are a few of the key milestones you can look forward to on the project. A second public meeting will be held in November to discuss the results of the Phase B study. We anticipate that a preferred alternative will be selected for the project at the end of this year or in early 2022. At that point, the project will enter into the design phase. The anticipated start date for construction is in the fall of 2024. I'd like to thank you for your interest in this project. Our team looks forward to your input.